Good evening, noble viewers. We thank God for another good evening. It's been a beautiful day. We've had it very nicely once again, and we own the most greatest one, a very great of thanks. But before we go on, or whatever you are listening us from, this is a program that we've titled it Memanti Nenyaminti, for the sake of those who are listening to us that you didn't understand the local language. What we are saying is that it is for the sake of our motherland, the sake of our country, and not for our own personal interest. We're doing this for the interest of the nation Ghana, Africa at large. Had it been unto ourselves or our own interest, we would have not come out at all to say anything or to speak at all. We would have kept mute. But then it is for the sake of our motherland, Ghana. You are listening to us live on our Facebook channel, King George. Wherever you are listening us from, you like the page and then you share with friends or relatives. We proceed. We owe some people a very great of thanks. Among or notable these ones are Nobles Africa, and we have World Changers Ministry, headed by Head Pastor Reverend Emmanuel Ban, or Apostle Emmanuel Ban. Man of God, wherever you are, I salute you this evening. I think before the lockdown, you have locked yourself down somewhere, and then you had gone down on your knees, for about 40 good days, waiting on the Lord for the good Lord to speak on behalf of his children. That is very great from you, man of God. God bless you once again, wherever you are. And then we own this beautiful company by name Gifty Kitchen. They also have played a very fantastic role during the lockdown, going down there to support the poor and the needy. We also would want to say a word of thanks to Ochi Bonebo's fashion design. Wherever you are, great man, God bless you. And then Mayupia's phones and accessories, and a lot more. Thank you very much. We thank God that about 2 days ago, the president came out lifting the ban on us in terms of the lockdown that was being played on us. It's been very nice from the president. We cherish you so much, Mr. President, with your good works unto the nation. What else can we say? Looking at your social intervention programs that you have kept in place, or you keep on putting in place before, during, and after this lockdown, and during this pandemic. It's been so great to see from you. Going straight to our today's topic, we are to discuss something about this whole lockdown. The government have come out to lift the ban. We are trying to look at the impact that this whole process is going to have on us as a country. In other words, the consequences. Without much ado, we are looking the whole process from this point of view, that is it right, or was the government right with the timing and looking at the nature of the pandemic? Because a school of thought is telling us that the pandemic is not over. The pestilence is still ongoing. And so is it rational to come out with such an initiative that I am lifting the ban on you? Now, Another school of thought is also telling us that the government has come to lift the lockdown ban prematurely. Now, what does it mean here, or what is it telling us as a country? Does that mean that, the president do not think of us as citizens or as the people of this noble land? Or is it because of political expediency? What at all is leading to this whole thing? Or is that the right thing for the president to do? Is that a right decision for the president to take? Before this program, I was actually researching to get similar situations to this very moment of ours. And then I saw that in 1918, there was a similar pandemic in the land of the, what do we call it? There was a Spanish flu. And then I was trying to look at it, how it got affected the land of Philadelphia, how the people have assembled themselves, how they have quarantined themselves, and they had wanted to war to protect themselves against this very flu. And so this was a moment where the US was also waiting to attend a war. That is World War I. And so they have come into agreement to quarantine themselves, not to come out until the very pandemic or the flu was over. And so due to this US preparation for the World War I, they had to manipulate their way out by getting people on board or countries on board, parading them and preparing them for the war. And so at the point, the New York City mayor by name Bill de Blasio, and then the New York government as at that time by name Andrew Cuomo were all on board, and they had to ignore all this process. I don't know if I should say deliberately or something. They boycotted the whole process. After the health expertise have come out to tell them that they needed to hide themselves or quarantine themselves from the sickness, they had to turn the whole thing down and then go there on their own to let the people parade themselves to go out there to support the US. And now let's look at it. Not too long ago, when the people had come out to parading themselves out there, this was what happened. Over 45,000 people were being infected within a week. And now, let's look at the most appalling aspect. 45,000 people were out there, and then they got infected by the sickness. After a week again, about 2 weeks' time, over 12,000 Philadelphians were dead. Now, looking at this very whole thing, there was another country called, or city called Milwaukee, right? Milwaukee in the US. They had made sure that they would go just by the initiative, by quarantining themselves and not coming out. So the very person who was in charge of their health, or I would say the health commissioner as at that time, by name Dr. George Roland, had aggressively, imposed the very quarantine process or the lockdown process on the people of Milwaukee. I beg your pardon if I do not have the name right. But this gentleman, Dr. George Roland, has imposed the process or the lockdown process, onto the people of Milwaukee. And then they had to solemnly abide by it. And so it was an aggressive movement where schools, saloons, many of those kinds were being shut down. Nothing was going, nothing was coming. And so looking at it, the countries at that time who were able to go by the lockdown initiative actually received low of the death rate as at that time of about 50%. And this Malawi I made mention of had registered just about 0.5% of the death rate. After 2 months, the land of Philadelphia had faced over 16,000, death rates. That is when the lockdown was being undermined. So I'm looking at this process here in Ghana, that what is going to be the aftermath after the government have come out to say that the lockdown, partial lockdown, whatever, had been taken off. Does that mean that the sickness or COVID-19, coronavirus or whatever has been totally liberated from or something? And the answer is no. The answer is no. The lockdown is off, but the sickness is still within us. Now left unto us as Ghanaians, as individuals, to reason rationally and to see how best we're going to go about our issues and matters. Now, we have brought this usage of the facial mask. Use the facial mask. Most often, we are saying that use your sanitizers, your soapy water, whatever you are, to help protect this. I saw people jubilating and celebrating after the government or the president has spoken. And I asked myself, indeed, is this freedom? You could see that yesterday in my advert, I was saying something that, the tortoise once upon a time said to itself that I feel oppressed in my own shell. I feel I'm being crippled. And so I am fighting for freedom. I want to be on my own. I feel I'm being quiet here in my shell. So I got to fight and then go out there. It fought, indeed, it succeeded by coming out from the shell. Forgotten that the very shell it was hiding itself was the very protector or the very guide to its livelihood. And so after it came out, now when there was a sunshine, it was directly to the body. When there was a rainfall, directly to the body. This reminds me of this very moment today, that we are also fighting for freedom. What do we think we are fighting for? We know that there has been a famine in the whole movement, that people are not getting food to eat. People are striving from hunger, and it's not working out properly for us because business has been shattered. Everything is not going. Nothing is going, nothing is coming. Absolutely nothing. But hey, is that what we want it to be? This is not how we want it to be. But the situation calls for. And so you see some people going around, criticizing the whole process. You see people saying all sort of things just for political expediency, just for their political parties to be clapping for them. The government has done its part, because I know it was the whole, the citizen who did cry for this very freedom. It was the citizens, if not all of us, most of us cried for it, and now it has been granted. Having granted that too, we are coming out again to criticize the whole process. What I'm telling my brothers and sisters tonight, listen to me wherever you are, is that we need to be cautious, we need to be steadfast, we need to be careful about how we are going about our things, because COVID-19 is real. Some are saying it cannot get we the Africans, it cannot get us here as Ghanaians. Oh, we know. It is not anything about our immune system which is working properly or whatever. For me, I am saying that it is by the mercies and the love of God that we are alive and kicking. Period. We should make sure that we do things right and we do not go, the arrogance way, or we shouldn't be raising our ego here. Because nothing we are doing to ourselves to solve this problem. It is all about God. So my brother, my sister, wherever you are tonight listening to me, I am telling you that we should come out in a very, aggressive style and manner by protecting ourselves. We are talking of social distancing. We should make sure we distance ourselves, at least have 1.5 meter or 2 meters away, at least to protect each other. We should make sure we abide by the very rules that have been laid down, not attending to social gatherings, talking of funerals, talking of churches. I know some people are still going to churches secretly, underground. My brother, my sister, we're all good Christians. And God even himself at this point in time accepts that we need to quarantine. I know Christianity is coming from the heart. Whatever you are, you can still pray and serve the good Lord in your heart, in your own small corner. The church is our body. That is what the Bible makes us understand. It's not necessarily the church building there or the physical building there. So, what we are saying is that let us all try our best. Let us come together. I have said this times with a number, that together we stand and divided we fall. I am reminding you once again of the case of Philadelphia. As at that moment, the countries that were able to obey to the quarantine process, studies and research has shown clearly that those who obeyed the quarantine were able to come after, bouncing back to getting a higher level of economy, more than even those who disobeyed the quarantine and came out. So please, in our own small way, what I'm saying is that salvation is in our own hands. So please, please and please, let us abide by the simple instructions given, and we can do a small or more to protecting our own lives. I am ending it here. Wherever you are listening to us, our Facebook page is by name King George. You will like the page and share it with friends or relatives. We're going to come your way again next week. Actually, the program should have been on Sunday, but due to 1 or 2 problems we had with our transmission, it couldn't come off. Usually the program is being taken off on Sunday evening, 8 o'clock p.m. GMT sharp, and then we start the program. We titled the program Mimainti Nenyaminti, for the sake of my country and not for our own interest. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for watching. God bless you all. Aluta continua. Long live Ghana, long live Africa and the world at large. Kudos. God bless you. Shalom. Peace. Bye-bye.